Hello and welcome back to your go-to concierge Airtable tutorial. What we're going to work on next is how to enter a task record. So again, we're back at our main Airtable view with the different bases or different tables. You'll probably only have one table, and within that table will be one base. That base will be labeled with your last name as the title, and within the square will be the first two letters of your last name. So we're going to select the tutorial, and going into this, we're going to work on the very first one here, which is entering a task record. I'm going to try and go really quick, but there is a more detailed version of this tutorial. To enter a task record, you go to the bottom right corner and select the plus within the circle. So that plus sign within the circle, you're going to select it by tapping on it on the screen. You're going to name your record. Your record is your task request. This is a simple one or two or three word max explanation of what this task is. So this task is entering a record. Or you know what, more specifically, entering a task request. If that task request has a due date, you just select the empty space below each field and label it as so needed. And we're going to just select Thursday for this and OK. The status, we went through statuses, but just so you know, this status, this is a B status, this entering a task request. You know what? We just realized that we got a phone call and this is turned hot. So we're going to change this status to hot. A hot status means it needs to be done immediately. Maybe that's because the plumbing burst. Maybe that's what this task request is. So we're going to enter, you're going to select what kind of trade or vendor you would like. Perhaps you would like your handyman to come instead of a plumber, and that is where you would select this. This beautiful list of vendors will continue to grow, and it will always be in alphabetical order to make it easy for you to reference. If you do not have a preference, you do not need to select anything there. Same with the due date. You do not need to select anything there. The most important, there are three important sections here, and that is the name of your task, the status of your task, in other words, the priority, and the notes. We always do in the notes section, again, by selecting the empty space under notes section, then selecting by tapping the screen again into the empty space. We start always by putting the date in that we are entering the task. As many detailed notes as you can will go in here. You have the options to put things in quotes, give it different headers. You can label it with bullet points or numbers. We're not going to do that right now, but please feel free to go in at any time and try and do that. And then after your note, you will see initials. You may see initials of other concierge or GTC team members. That is because we do all work as a team together, and on occasion, teamwork makes the dream work, and we'll work together to get your task done even that much more efficiently. So that is the very short on how to use the notes section. We always put the date, the note, and then the initials. We encourage you to do the same, but of course none of that is mandatory. Just done enters that information. You do have the option to put URLs in if you want your concierge to, perhaps maybe you're working on an organization project and you have a specific store or site or object that you want your concierge to look at. You can put the URL to that in here. You can also add attachments. There are three different ways of adding attachments. If you select the camera on the far left underneath the word attachment, that will open up your camera functionality on your mobile device, and you can take a picture of something. The center icon there is for the photos. So if you already have a photo of something that you've taken and want to reference for your concierge, you can select it there. And then these three dots to the right, if you select that, it will give you the opportunity to upload things. Perhaps you've saved something in your Dropbox or your Google Drive, and you can upload it from there. So to get rid of that screen, I just selected it and swiped it to the left. To get rid of this screen, we're going to put my finger on the left-hand side and swipe it swipe it right. Maybe. There we go. All right. Don't worry about the hidden fields. Those are not anything that will be relevant or used. Again, we ask that you do not delete anything within the Airtable. This is for communication purposes. And the more information we have, the better we can serve you. And it is all about providing amazing service. And with that, we believe comes amazing communication, and which is why we love Airtable. You may, at a certain point, be inside of a task record checking on the status and see information changing. That is because this application does work in real time. And if your concierge is currently working on the task and entering a note or changing some information, you will be able to see that as it is happening. So just a quick way breakdown on how to enter task information. And if you'll please continue to go to the next video on how to use the activity section. That is the next most important item and piece of information you will need to know, especially for those tasks and requests that need to be executed immediately. That is also how we communicate with each other. So thank you for tuning in. There is a more extensive tutorial on entering a task record, but this is the quick, short Cliff Notes version. Hope you guys are making today your best day. And again, remember to go to that next video.